Today is Friday, April 9th. We're going to be looking at America's messed up election system. If you're American, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but just take a look at this map. Who wins? Right now, if you think about it, you're going to say yellow, I guess, if you add up all the numbers, and that's correct. The yellow has more electoral votes, but in the first second when you saw this, I can bet that you thought green was winning, because green controls a vast majority of the area, to about 2/3, probably more, because remember, Alaska is way bigger. It's bigger than Texas and California. So Alaska is huge and it's all the way up there. So if you just look at this map, if Alaska was in its usual size, you'd think that green's winning by a big margin. However, it's not. Yellow won the election. If we go to legend counter, yellow wins 272 electoral votes, putting yellow over the top. I purposely chose not to use any blue or red because if I did, it would be harder to do so because Idaho is a Republican state, but California is a Democratic state, and that's just really painful to do all of that. So excuse me if I did. Sorry if I didn't. But yeah. The problem with American elections, you see, are these kind of maps. This map just shows who won a state. But there are two things it doesn't show. It doesn't show population in each state, and it doesn't show how close each state was. This one does, both of them actually do, but if you go onto CNN, an election night in America, or any other, this might be online if you search up 2020 election results. Let's go, 2020 election results. Images. All of these are, this is a good example. This is the Google one. While election night was going on, they had this on, and that's good because it's not great, to be honest, because the only ones that are not shaded in are states that haven't been called, because at that time, in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Alaska, President Trump was leading, and in Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, now President Biden is leading. But now, what it really means is... Oh, wrong one, okay. But what it means, this doesn't truly represent the actual voting. So there are two better kind of maps, I'd like to think. Here's just an interesting map that isn't that great because, as you know, the United States has something called the Electoral College. Each state is assigned a number, anywhere from 55 at California to 1 at Delaware, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Alaska. Yeah, but a lot of states, Vermont and as well as the District of Columbia, but the number comes from their congressional representation. What I mean by that is how many people they have representing them in the United States Congress. Montana has only 3. One representative for the state at large because they don't have that many people. However, they might be getting 2 after the census. You should watch my gerrymandering series to find out more. The link's in the description. Do check it out. It talks a little bit more about representation and redistricting. But back to Montana, it only has 3. So it has 1 representative going to the U.S. House of Representatives, where the Democrats control the chamber and Nancy Pelosi is the speaker at this point. They also have 2 senators, 1 Democrat, John Tester, and 1 Republican, Steve Daines. Democrats currently control the chamber, and Chuck Schumer is the majority leader. That's how whoever wins in each state, regardless if they win by 1 vote or 10 million votes, it would just have that color on it, and they would win all of the state's electoral votes. In Pennsylvania, for example, if you just move a little bit of the state's borders, if you just move a little bit of New Jersey into Pennsylvania, Hillary Clinton would have won Pennsylvania, and she would have been really close to winning the election. You should check out the tool I used there in my redrawing these states, gaming the election video, which I've also linked in the description. But what this really means is that the elections are messed up. Look at this. This is a county map. This is a county map we have here, right? It looks like the Republicans are winning. Donald Trump put out that map in the White House when he was president, but it's not accurate. This is slightly better. It pixelates the areas with population. As you can see, California, the West Coast, East Coast are all heavily pixelated. The middle of nowhere states like, no offense, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Southern Idaho, Wyoming, they're just not pixelated because there are not many people there. But that's a problem. It's not there. There's so many different ways to see the results, and I'm gonna go right here to thematic maps of the 2016 election. This isn't mine. I'm not gonna try and take credit for it, but I forgot where I got it from. Let's see. Is there a link here? If America were a precinct, the map would be blue. That's funny, but yeah, I don't know where I got the link from. Yep. But it's from this really nice guy, I think from the article somewhere, but there's so many different maps. If we look at this 3D prisms map, there are just so many ways to look at it, so many perspectives to look at it from. For example, in one of them, you could give each state a certain height based on population. I'm just going to go to toolbar so I can see better. There we are. So many different ways. I mean, in this one, you can see the prisms version. How much short have I got? Let's see. 9. Oh, that's not good. So, each state has a height. Oh, I'm struggling to see. Okay, I think it's starting to come through. Okay. Oh, this is huge. It seems quite big. So, if we go back to the map, it does the whole nation. So it has the whole nation. So it's a huge map. Yep, I think it's starting to come together. And each county or area has a platform of a certain height. This, for example, I'm not sure where it is. This is in Florida. Yep, this is in Florida. So I think it's starting to come together. I mean, this is Florida. California is there. And I think that's the Northeast. Yep, Texas is here. There we are. So this is what the map looks like. In some parts, the Democrats are leading, in some parts, the Republicans are. But what this map really shows is the population density in different areas. In many areas with a high population, for example, the state of Texas, I think there's a slight glitch, but in Texas here, there it is. In Texas, in some of the more Democratic areas, you can see how populated it is. In the Republican areas, most of them are very short, which means there are not many people. So that's just one great way to look at it. Though, please do note that's 2016. So that's just our favorite kind of map. There's so many different ways. There are waffle grid ones, and there's proportional text. That's a good one. I looked at it earlier. Non-contiguous cartogram. That's not too bad either. I actually liked it. Proportional symbol, this is a good one. And there's one more I wanted to show you guys. This one is funny, but I think it's that one. Yeah, it is. So before my computer dies, I think I need to do it before my computer dies. But so let's just look here. So this just shows the population. The bigger the numbers and the brighter they are, they show the population, and it's just a simpler way to show who wins where. I mean, that's Chicago. It has a huge number. That's San Francisco. There's LA down there. There's San Diego, and here there's New York, DC, and that's just one way to look at it. Another map. This isn't exactly a good map because it's hard to see, but it does do a better job of showing this proportionally. I mean, but what this does is shows it by the representation, but not exactly how much extra they are represented, because Wyoming, not exactly. This is just a map based on representation. So you see Maine has only 4, it's small. New Hampshire, Vermont, only 3, they're small. DC, 3, kind of small. And that's just basically what it is. Then this is the best kind of one in my opinion. It's like a dot, except it's a little bit of a big lump, like somebody splashed paint. because there's another simpler version of this where they have big dots or whatever in the more populous areas, but this is just a splotch of paint and it's nicer. Like that's a Phoenix, Arizona area and stuff. And this is a funny one. This is the map I was talking about, the county map, and that Donald Trump was going to hang up in the White House, and that's why it's not that accurate as we learned. And just one more. So this just talks about what's to say. So basically, looking at the lines in the thicker lines, it's more populous areas basically. But in the thin lines, like in New York, you can see it's quite thick. But in thinner areas, in the thinner lines, it means there are not many people. Like in upstate Nevada, in Wyoming, in southern Idaho. But my favorite map is this one. It's beautiful. But thank you for watching and please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed learning about America's messed up elections. If you like this video, you should check out my gerrymandering series and my redrawing the states gaming the election video. Please click hit the red subscribe button. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.